Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Hour. My name is Stefanis Kokis. As always, with me is Michael Mijas and Cody Tuttle. Tonight we have Butch Hiles, who is hosting the ADCC North American Trials this year in December. We're going to have him on, and we'll have Dustin Ware on later to give us a recap on the AGC that happened last week. What have you guys been up to?
Nothing. I was just at the gym. I got some rolls in. I got to roll twice today, which is pretty awesome. I did some gi this morning. I did some no gi tonight. And as I was talking with you guys, I was saying that gi and no gi, I think it's the games you play and how they translate one to the other. If you're not very gi dependent, like with your grips and how you pass, that it goes good with no gi. But if you're very dependent on the gi with grips, collar grips, if you like to play with, lapels, it definitely changes when you go to no gi. And I don't know. What do you think about that, Cody?
Well, that's actually something that my coach Justin Hastings is really big on, who just got his black belt on Saturday, by the way, from Phil and Don Cunanan in Morgantown, West Virginia. But he's very big on not having a gi dependent game. He trains in the gi all the time. He loves the gi. He thinks that gi is important for MMA. He's been on our show. He's talked about it, but he's big on not depending on it because it's not always there. And there's lots of ways to grapple. If you're grappling without the gi and you don't have a collar to grab, if you don't have that weird ass crack grip that people use in the back of the pants to get to the back, then your game might fall apart. So I think it's important to not depend on it too much. I'm definitely guilty of it. I do a lot of collar gripping and not very much like behind the neck grabbing and no gi. So he does a lot of stuff with like an overhook instead of a collar grip, and it translates really well. So I can definitely see where you're coming from. It's definitely.
And I also think I think it's like that. It's also the gi game you play. I think if you have you have there's some guys that they just do certain grips, which I think is okay to go to no gi. But if you're very very if you're doing worm guard, bows, and a lot of like a lot of
spider guard,
reverse Delaheel, spider guard, stuff like that. It's not. I mean, yeah, you can grab the hands and put your feet in, but still,
it's not as strong.
It's definitely not. It's definitely so, which will bring up that whole gi, no gi, that whole debate.
We've been there.
Which we can go all night with that. We won't get that deep into it.
Before we get started on the interview, I wanted to extend a welcome to Alexander Hardwood to the Dirty Footlock Club. Looks like he received a little bit of hate this weekend. Definitely undeserving hate. Nothing wrong with footlocks. We are a pro footlock podcast, if you couldn't tell.
We are.
We've all been accused of being dirty footlock guys in the past. Embrace it. There's nothing wrong with it. But welcome to the club.
Yes, definitely. And I saw the video of Alexander's, and there was nothing.
Oh my God!
It wasn't even. It was. It's actually one of the quickest releases. Usually,
it was very nice. There was no malicious intent behind that.
He did not pull a Harrison.
Yeah, and as soon as he feels a tap, he generally lets go. So
yeah.
And I think that the person he went against said that it was okay in the long run. So.
Yeah, everything got settled.
It has to be quick, because if you sit there and you let them roll out of it, then you're going to lose it and you end up in a bad position, which is the nature of footlocks. You risk giving up the position. So
no, but if you're going against him, you kind of know he's going to go for a footlock.
Right. You should be ready to either.
There's certain people out there that do footlock. Yeah, especially people that are proficient out there. Usually, who at the tournament is proficient with the leg locks. It's not really a big surprise who does. Especially in the advanced division, you kind of know, hey, that guy goes for legs a lot, and what kind of legs they go for. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, I said it. I commented on that thread. Like, the rules. You know what can happen. If you don't like it, then don't compete in that division. Stick with the gi. You can't do heel hooks and gi.
That's exactly what it is, and it's just, it's just like no gi guys that go to the gi and complain. Well, he held my collar the whole time. It's gi.
Yeah. What do you expect?
Break the grip. Yeah.
It's part of the game. That's why he's holding your collar. But
well, a lot of places like they train breaking the grip for 5 minutes once every 3 months. So maybe
Definitely.
they need to do more of that.
Yeah, definitely.
But since we're on the subject of nasty leg locks, which are legal in the ADCC, let's give Butch Hiles a call. He's hosting the East Coast ADCC trials December 13th in Charleston, West Virginia, which is pretty cool because it's staying local again. They're doing a good job of keeping it out of New York and where everything else happens. 2 years ago it was in Columbus, and now it's back still in the area.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hello.
Butch.
Butch,
Hey, how you doing, man?
hey, what's going on, man? It's Cody.
Hey.
Welcome to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Hour.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So thanks for staying up and spending some time with us. For everyone that's listening, Butch usually goes to bed around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So we're going to try and keep it a little quick for him so he can get to bed and get up for work early. But just to start off the interview, you just want to give like a quick breakdown of your jiu-jitsu history. How you got started, where you're at now. Just a little bit of information for anyone that's not familiar with you.
Yeah, that's no problem. I think, it's kind of hard to remember when I started training, but I think it was like the late 90s, somewhere in there. And then, officially became ranked under Hoist Gracie probably in the early 2000s and trained with him until I was a purple belt, and then ended up switching to Marcelo Monteiro just simply because he was somebody that we could see more often, actually train with. Like I said, nothing against Hoist, but I didn't really see him, so we kind of trained on our own. But Marcelo obviously is really good too. It has a curriculum that we can follow, which is a lot easier for us to kind of stay on track. So anyway, started training with him probably around 2004 or 5, all the way until currently. And I'm a black belt under him, and they have a gym here in Charleston, West Virginia, and so we kind of do our thing down here, obviously. Staying active in the jiu-jitsu thing and trying to do some tournaments down here in West Virginia as much as possible.
The guys on the podcast are actually also associated with Marcelo Monteiro under James Trelecki up in Youngstown. So you guys are kind of like teammates loosely.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Is that Mike Mijas? Is that right? Or
yes. What's up, Butch? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. How long have you guys been with Marcelo?
I'm thinking since 2004 or 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you've been for a long time with him, yeah.
Yeah. What actually happened, I tell people I got my purple belt in 2004, and was training with Team Rock up there in North Carolina, and I was like kind of on top of the world because you get your purple belt, you feel really, really awesome. And then some guy had emailed me, a guy named Justin in Wisconsin, and said, "Hey, this guy Marcel just moved, to the United States from Brazil. You should train with him, see what it's like." And so he came down. I thought I'd do really well. He brought his son Junior, who was a brown belt at the time, and they're both 160 pounds or something at that time, and they just beat the crap out of me. So I said, man, I got to figure out what the heck they're doing. It's really kind of an awful beating that I wasn't expecting. I remember getting in the car with Marcelo and really kind of feeling like I was going to cry or something because I did so bad. And he said, oh man, it's okay. You just gotta learn some different jiu-jitsu and try to, get on track. And, really, like I said, honestly, just kind of motivated me to train harder at the time. So which is really cool. And that's why we stayed with him ever since.
Now, let me ask you, do you do a lot of De La Riva since you've been with Marcelo?
We do. Yeah.
That's a big part of his game.
Yeah, exactly. One kind of problem we always say we find at the gym is that, it's like newer guys coming in. That's what we teach and stuff, but sometimes it's hard to get everybody on the same page. So it seems like a lot of times unless the purples and above are working with each other, we don't get a good opportunity to do a lot of De La Riva and stuff. Which is kind of a bummer, but obviously that's like a mainstay in all his curriculum and everything that we do.
Definitely is.
So Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved with the ADCC. 2 years ago they were in Columbus doing the East Coast trials for the most recent event. You reffed up there. You want to talk about how you got started being involved?
Yeah, yeah. Different people in the organization I've talked to for several years, and then like you said, they had the trials there in Ohio, so that's pretty close. So we went down there and helped out, helped judge and ref, and just kind of help in general with the tournaments. But we ended up forming a pretty good friendship relationship with Carlson Gracie Jr. and Carlos Carvalho, and just a bunch of those guys down there. But when I was down there, I was just, really wanting to help, bring them to West Virginia at some point, even though it was kind of a weird idea. But just because I just thought, it'd be kind of neat to do a national tournament or something here, even if it's something small. And of course, that's what we did. I don't know if it was the same year or the following year, but we were able to do that. And they had a good time here, and they had a good turnout. Even I think the year that we did it, it snowed really bad. It was kind of messed with stuff, but like I said, people still showed up. So I guess their thoughts all together was that Charleston, West Virginia, in an odd way, was kind of centrally located, since there's a lot of grapplers and jiu-jitsu practitioners in Ohio and Pennsylvania, New York, all the way around, that they thought, it might not be a bad location to kind of do a trial. So, that's kind of where that all came about. So luckily, it's pretty awesome that we have something so big for the grappling community, here in West Virginia, which is kind of a strange place to have something like that in a way. But hopefully it turns out really well for them.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the most, likely of locations, but I was looking at, Charleston's got an airport. I was looking at, some of the flights in and out of there, and it connects to, a lot of major airports all across the country. So, that gives everybody an easy way in if they're not, in the immediate area. I saw that there were flights from like Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, big major cities that everyone can get to with a connecting flight. So I know James Popolo told me that he was planning on attending the trials. You got any other big names that have already been confirmed that you can let us know about?
Not really. I think they're kind of. I just want to make sure they don't get mad at me, but I think they're kind of keeping most of that stuff under wraps for a while.
I can imagine.
Just for whatever reason. Yeah.
I probably wasn't supposed to tell people that James Popolo was showing up, but this is the second time I've done it. And
good job,
yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, they might. I know like Louis Palhera's son's coming, and I don't. There's some people I know that are coming that I don't think they care that they say. But the odd thing about that is even we're looking at some of the past trials, and sometimes the big names become big names a couple of years after the trials too. So
right.
There might even be people that are flying under the radar that nobody knows right now that are, a couple of years from now we'll be like, damn, they were there for that. But yeah, I'll just wait and make sure I don't get in trouble, which is the next thing. But yeah, I can say that oddly enough, our first few people that registered were from like Alaska and Florida, places, that really aren't that close, which I was kind of surprised. We had some people from Poland that registered, but I think I was trying to talk them out of coming because, it is a North American qualifier. So if you're not from North America, they're not going to let you qualify. So
right. So you need a passport from a North American country to be able to compete, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that has actually been an issue for a lot of people, because that's the first question I get. Somebody emails me and says, is it really a must that I have that? And that's kind of one of the things that they're not bending on, that even if, you have proof that you purchased it, because some people aren't even realizing that's coming up, until
right.
Just like a day or two ago, and there's no way to get a passport. So that's kind of a pain in the butt, actually, to be honest with you. But at the same time, if they're trying to make it a qualifier for here, there's no way around it,
Yeah. Well, there is a way to get one that quick, but it's not easy, and it's not cheap. I was going to India in 2012, and we were leaving like October 3rd or something like that. And my dad and I waited until like the middle of September to get our passports, and it involved paying some guy to drive to Washington D.C. with the paperwork. And it's not the way to go. But that was the only reason that I even competed at the one in Columbus, because I just randomly had my passport from this trip to India that I had taken like 6 months prior. Or otherwise, I have no reason to have a passport, so I wouldn't have been able to do it. It's just I got lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that doesn't keep a lot of people out of it. Even saying a lot of people are emailing me, it's still probably under 10 or 20 that at least asking the question. So hopefully it's not going to hurt things. But most people that compete in the trials already know that information, your major grapplers, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But it is something I think a lot of people are unprepared for. But it does, and on the flip side, I guess it does keep a lot of people out that are like, well, I'm just going to jump in this, professional division and see how I do, because they don't have a passport, some of them, so that is one catch that I guess people need to be aware of, that, if they didn't know about it or didn't think about it earlier. Then I did have another guy, Jeremy from Pittsburgh, which you guys probably know, that Jeremy Kitts, and I think he might be doing what you said. He was getting his passport extradited and trying to hurry up and get it, and could be a little bit of pain in the butt for people, especially being in like 3 weeks out or whatever it is right now.
Mm-hmm. So as far as the tournament goes, the professional division is on Saturday, and then there's a separate tournament the following day, right?
Yeah, and that way we can give the professionals, just run of the mat. Which you remember how it was in Columbus. I believe it was just you guys on the mat, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There have been a couple of matches, but just professional. So yeah, that they're planning on running like 3 to 4 really big mats, and just featuring them only on the 13th, which is Saturday. So yeah, and then running everything else on the following day. But it's kind of weird because it's only a qualifier. It's not really weird, but I guess some other questions I get is that there is not a qualifier for, if you consider yourself advanced to professional masters. That's still something you would do on Sunday, because there's not a qualifier for a masters tournament, if that makes sense. And the same with like teams, because they list, the way Abu Dhabi lists anybody that says they're advanced, even a team, it will say professional, even though there's really not, in the true sense of a word, a professional teenager. So I guess sometimes some of the language can be a bit confusing to people. But yeah, so if you're adult professional, if you consider yourself, you go into the advanced division, that's professional, and that'll be on Saturday, and everybody else will be on Sunday.
Butch, I got a quick question. Is there a limit for each weight division? Is it getting capped off for so many competitors?
No, actually it's not, which is kind of surprising. But I think, this is, and I think the reason they're doing that, this is their only East Coast qualifier. So they want, as many people as they can get, period. So they're not capping it off. That way they give everybody a shot.
Now, how many weight divisions is the total? How many is it?
It's a good question, but I don't know off the top of my head. But let me look here for you real quick, because I did have it pulled up just in case.
My guess is 5.
Right.
I'm going with 5.
I'm going to say either 4 or 5.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Random jiu-jitsu knowledge.
Yeah. So then it's 218 and above is their highest heavyweight, and 142 or 145 below is the lowest.
Now, is this the one where it's the first couple minutes is no points, and then the next couple is this how they're doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
What exactly is the time limit? What is the time limit on that?
Typically, they're 5 minutes. You guys are testing me on my knowledge of the rules, which I always have to look up. But typically it's like the first half of the match. Let's put it that way. If the match is 8 minutes, the first 4 minutes are usually a non-scoring, division match. So you can kind of, for people that want to jump guard and do all that stuff, they can do that in the first beginning.
I've always been a big fan of the rules. I always
Yeah.
thought that
But I see the
ADCC
rules
did a
changed
real
again
good
now
job.
for the jumping guard. Is that right, Cody?
What's that?
Either somebody changed the rules for the jumping guard now. Like if you jump guard now in the other phase, you actually get penalized.
Yeah, it's always been a -1 point for pull and guard if you do it in the second half. So that's why you saw Cobrinha and Hoffa Mendez wrestle for about 40 minutes because that was their only choice.
That's pretty boring.
Yeah.
To watch two guard guys wrestle.
So, while you guys saw, I looked that up there, and so for these trials that aren't the finals, they're just a 6-minute match, and the first 3 minutes is no points. Then when you get to the finals, they pop it to 8 minutes. So then the first 4 minutes will be no points, and then just 4 minutes, or points for the last 4 minutes. Okay. But like Cody said, I mean, I think that's the best. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, like I remember years ago when Abu Dhabi was out, like Mark Kerr and a bunch of these wrestlers were just taking people down left and right and getting back up and winning matches, by a bunch of takedowns. I think that's pretty much why they took that part out, was to kind of try to make it fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys might remember a little bit more than I did at that time, but yeah, everything's a little bit different now. And and like you said, Cody, I think these are pretty good rules for everybody. It makes it more competitive. And
yeah, that was actually going to be my next question, was as far as the the non-professional tournament goes on the following day, do they follow the same rules as the professional tournament with the half and half scoring?
Yeah,
okay,
they do, and so that part's always clear. And I think one thing that I've noticed in the 3 or 4 tournaments I've been involved with Abu Dhabi is that they're I don't know if you noticed it up there when you were there, Cody, but people sometimes the whole scoring system's slightly different, everything's slightly different. Because I remember I was ref and people were like, "Where's this points?" and argue up and down, but they're really going by the IBJJF rules or whatever, and Abu Dhabi's rules are completely different than everything else. I mean,
yeah, it's it's very unique. They've got some they score some points for reversals even. It's tricky if you've never really like sat down and read it and you're just going by another tournament that you've done, you're probably going to be just a little bit confused. So
extremely confusing.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I was having at terms, like somebody would sweep somebody from guard and land a mount, so they'd be thinking they're going to get their 6 points, and they would only get 4, that whatever would have them at the point, but they don't also like kind of really rack up points like that. What I mean, they just call it one continuous move instead of giving you 2 things on something like that. I mean, there's a lot of differences, but I mean, something that when people are going to compete, especially amateur level that never been in it, they definitely need to look at the rules. And I think the rules are really fair, but it's just people are so used to the other rules, they do definitely need to be aware that there's a lot of differences.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are the rules going to be like this for the tournament the next day, or is it the same rules and everything?
Mm-hmm.
They're the same rules. The only time it changes is when the gi comes out, so they don't follow them for the gi division. They'll just do like regular standard jiu-jitsu rules.
Okay, all right. Oh, so there's going to be gi the next day. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
go ahead.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Butch?
Well, I was going to say the plan is to run the brown and black belt division on Saturday as well. That way, if the guys who are doing no gi, want to stay and compete, that way they can fly out or go home or whatever. But my guess is going to be that most people are just going to be, concentrating on the trials.
Right.
And might not care too much about the gi part. I mean, they're coming down there just to win the trial. Mm-hmm. I really, I'm not sure how many people are going to be like, well, I'm going to stick around and do the gi or whatever. But if they lose, I figure they're going to be mad. And if they win, they're not going to compete either. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I don't want to act like nobody's going to be there, but that's, kind of my opinion on that.
I think Mike just got real excited that he found out the brown belt division was on Saturday.
No, really?
I think I'll be heading down. I think the old man will be heading down to roll.
Yeah, so
now,
for everyone listening, we're going to be doing a live stream of the East Coast trials, so that'll be kind of different as well. I don't think anyone's ever been able to see the an ADCC trials live, so that may be a bit of a first, and we'll get to see Mike roll on Saturday too.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody wants to see that.
Well, that's what they're tuned in for.
Yeah.
Butch, I have a question now. When you win your division, the pro division, what happens after? Do you approach them? Do you give them a piece of paper? How does that work out? What you say? Hey, we're going to contact you, and then you. I was wondering what entails after you win.
I mean, luckily the officials will be there, but yeah, so they'll be there with you and get all your information. Because I mean, that's what you're qualifying for, is for the World Championships that are in Brazil. So at that point, I don't. Obviously, they're gonna give you some paperwork and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, hopefully most of it will be able to get started at least right on the spot, since we're having. I mean, they're actually flying in for this tournament, so. You know, all the main officials will be there that you need to talk to, and which will be good. So hopefully nobody gets to run around, you know, or if that's what they're afraid of, you know, that somebody will contact you and then, you know, it takes forever and you're kind of on edge if they're really going to contact you, but they're going to be right there with you to kind of tell you exactly what will happen afterwards.
Exactly what happens and all that. Now, what is it? What is it? They pay for your airline ticket and your hotel. What all does it include exactly?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I don't want to speak out of turn, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to take you down there. So that'll include all that stuff. And then after that, I mean, of course, once you're down in the World Championships, all that stuff's for money, you know, so things kind of change down there. So really that's the tournament you want to be at. I mean, like I said, I hate saying much stuff that may or may not be true now, but I'm talking to Jeff Monson before. I mean, he says that even after the tournament, I mean, they rolled at different locations for money and, you know, did different things that, you know, people asked them to do or whatever. So it sounds like, I mean, the whole thing sounds pretty awesome once you're there. I mean, you obviously get to compete. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw that there's winners for fastest submission and there's, you know, winners for this or that. They're all cash prizes. So, obviously theirs is awesome, but yeah, I believe that when you qualify, everything's paid for after that. But all that being said, I hate to say anything that might not be 100% true. So I'd say that's 80 to 90% true. You know, we definitely have to check afterwards.
So
well, you know,
I think it's
awesome that there's a tournament out there that's doing, you know, stuff like that. It's, you know, it's there's no other tournament in the, like, even the IBJ, no one else does that where they're flying people. You know, they qualify and they fly you out. It's definitely the Super Bowl of grappling. So.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, that's why I was really excited to have this, you know, obviously in West Virginia or something, be part of it, because, you know, heck, I've been watching it since it first came out, and thought, hell, that'd be something, you know, cool to be part of or see someday or do, you know, whatever. But so now it's kind of actually happening. So, and it's close for, you know, a lot of people that's never been close for, obviously us, and you know, I think it's going to be pretty neat for everybody. You know, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, you guys live broadcasting and stuff, and, you know, people are going to get a chance to see it, that they, you know, things they never saw before. So I think it should be really cool. And they've got some other qualifiers going on, like right now. I mean, this tournament here, actually, I originally wanted to do it the first week of December, but we had to push it back because they're having a qualifier in Korea on December 6th instead. So, I mean, they're having some qualifiers all over the place, I guess. So that's really cool, actually, that, you know, like I said, we're just part of it.
Yeah. Well, we're really excited to be there, and we really appreciate you coming on. If you want to give everybody that's listening the website where they can check out all the information online to find out more about the tournament, so they know how to register.
Yeah, I think you know, the best place to go, you know, is my site, so they can ask me questions right off the bat, which is wvgrapplingopen.com. You know, that should be pretty easy to remember, but that all being said, you can register off that website or the ADCCamerica.com website. So both have the exact same information, and you can go to either one. They can call me or email me at any time. My email address is just butch@butchhiles.com. So if anybody has any questions or wants to know anything or just anything at all, I've been getting a lot of weird questions from the start of this, so there's nothing too weird. So anybody can email or write or do anything at any time, and hopefully I can help you out.
Butch, what's the weirdest question you've gotten so far?
Man, I don't even know. There's some weird
many,
questions.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm just, I don't know. Even right before I got on here, I was getting, I wish I didn't delete it, but I get some weird questions that I just don't even understand why people ask them to me.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially for an ADC call. If I can imagine some of the stuff you're saying.
I'm gonna add one to the list. I'm gonna add one to the list before you go.
Ahead.
Who's doing the live broadcast in Brazil? That's what I want to know.
In Brazil, this would be a good opportunity to find out. So
yeah,
put your name in a hat. So
that's right. So we gotta bring our A game on the 13th.
Definitely.
I was gonna say years ago, like maybe the second ever Abu Dhabi one that was actually in Abu Dhabi. A friend of mine streamed it live.
I read about that once, like randomly off the internet. Is his name like Johnny Walls or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they flew him down there, and then that was before like anybody even knew what streaming was. I think he was kind of one of the first pioneers to be actually doing it. So that's why he got the job. Like he just told them, hey, I can do this new cool thing and stream it live. And then they flew him down there and paid for everything and gave him a bunch of money to do it actually. So it's really not that far out of the question. I could see you doing the same thing if you just talk to him.
Butch, I got a question. You said you're friends with Johnny Walls?
Well, yeah, I was. I haven't talked to him.
Did he used to videotape a lot of the MMA fights like in the 90s?
He did.
Yeah, he videotaped a couple of mine in the 90s. I remember that name now. Whatever happened to him?
They just kind of disappeared. They quit training. Him and his brother were doing a lot of stuff. His brother is Jason Walls, and he was like in Hook and Shoot with Jeff Osborne. I think he was one of their.
That's it, Hook and Shoot. That's it. That's what
Man, the way that I knew it was Johnny Walls is there was some contest on some website, and I can't remember what website or what product. And this happened in like the last 3 years, but they announced the winner is Johnny Walls from Charleston, West Virginia, and I was like, well, who the hell is that? Like, I should know who that is. So I either Googled him or I looked him up on Facebook. And what I found was an old article from like the Charleston newspaper that talks about him streaming the ADCC from like the second one. And I was like, I have no idea who this guy is, but he's been involved in fighting for a real long time.
Real long time. I mean, I remember he videotaped a couple of my fights, and that's why the name stuck in my head. And then you said Hook and Shoot. That's him for sure. Yeah. So no one knows what happened to him. Sucks.
Not really. I mean, kind of like Cody said, every now and then I'll see Johnny's name on the internet. I think he's still really involved in computer stuff. I mean, they're both good guys, but I think they kind of quit training from what I know. But then again, I could be wrong. I'm sure they're still in Charleston. I just haven't seen them for years and years either. But yeah, Johnny was all over the place because he was one of the pioneers of just all that kind of stuff. He'd go to Hook and Shoot and stream live video. And I mean, I remember him just taking pictures and posting them on the internet, and that was like amazing back in the day.
He did Hook and Shoot, Gladiators, Cage Combat. He used to do all those. I remember. That's him.
He did some stuff with Jamie Levine, that World Extreme Fighting, and that's the crazy stuff back, when it's first starting. So, I mean, he definitely did some crazy, awesome stuff.
Yeah. That's crazy.
All right, man. Well, hey, we really appreciate you staying up late to hang out with us and talk about the tournament. We'll do our best to spread the word, and we'll see you down there on the 13th.
Thanks, Butch.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yep, thank you. I'll talk to you guys real soon.
All right. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, you too. Take care.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what I got from that is we're going to Brazil.
Let's do it, baby.
Did I hear that wrong?
I need my passport first, but yeah.
We're smashing acai, and we're gonna go to De La Rivas and roll. I'm excited.
Hey, you got to aim big. So
we have to aim big. We have to. There's no other way.
I'm all about aiming
Johnny
big.
Walls. I can't believe we just talked about Johnny Walls. That name hasn't crossed my head. I would love to find him because I want to find my hook and shoot fights and gladiator fights, and I know that's the guy that did. He like that one fight I have of me on YouTube. He's the one who videotaped it. Johnny Walls. That's it.
I wish he still reads forums because it was something on a forum. It might have been the Underground. I don't remember exactly. And I don't remember if I just looked him up on Facebook. I'm surprised I remember the guy's name.
Yeah,
Just-
I'm surprised that you remembered him. You're
I know, because I just saw it once.
Yeah,
He's
you're
on
young.
Facebook. I just found him on Facebook. You should hit him up
Yeah?
and get your old fight videos so we can post those.
I'm excited. I want those.
Look, Johnny Walls right there.
With the long hair, right?
Long hair.
So that's him. I will find you.
Mike is now
Yeah,
on a
we're
manhunt.
friending people on Facebook.
I hope
What'd you say?
you won these fights.
I said I want to see them. I don't know if I want other people to see them.
We'll put him up on YouTube.
Well, hey, I just
getting
found him.
annihilated.
I can ask him for the fights too, and I can do whatever I want with him.
Yeah, that's not very nice, but that's cool.
All
So we
right,
got next. We got Dustin.
we're gonna try to get Dustin in
Yeah, we
here.
got Dustin.
Give us a
I wanna
recap.
find out what happened. I want to find out what happened to that big brown belt tournament.
So while we're waiting for Dustin, just to remind everybody.
Hello, you reached Dustin Ware with the American Grappling.
I couldn't get him. His phone must be off.
Okay, so we're going to be in Edinburgh on Saturday for Mission Submission 4. We've got a live broadcast. Starts around 11 o'clock. We should be running it till about 3 o'clock. Get your grappling fix in before Metamoris and Copa Podia starts. And, of course, this one's free. So might as well watch it.
And if you're in the area, go sign up and go compete. And females, you compete for free Saturday. So if you show up and you're a female, you compete for free.
That's right, and it's only $40 for males, and it's double elimination, and that's for all the divisions. So you're guaranteed 2 matches gi, 2 matches no gi. $40 for at least 4 matches is a better deal than you're going to get probably anywhere.
And if you win,
and the tournament's
you
run
get the
by some great
absolute.
guys who doesn't like it.
That's right, and if you finish first or second in your division, you can compete in the absolute division. So that's even more matches.
And that is a sweet prize. The absolute is a crystal, like a crystal plaque.
Yeah, it's like a plaque or laser etched plate.
Yeah, very badass. There's one for gi and there's one for no gi, and I know some people that are competing in it. Rumored, So
They might be on a show that you
they might be
listen
on
to.
the show right now talking. They might not be on the show. I don't know. But
Jeff Glover?
Yeah, maybe. Could be Jeff Glover. We could see some donkey guard at the Edinburgh. Pretty sure Jeff Glover will be commentating Metamoris in California.
Kit
Probably.
Dale's actually commentating Metamoris with Ken Florian.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yep, he officially moved to California now. So
It was about. I mean, California is the
the Mecca now.
It's the next Rio of Jiu-Jitsu. So
more accessible.
Definitely. So this Saturday, Edinburgh. What time are we starting?
I'm gonna try to be there around noon. I have to get off work and then pack up and then head up.
Noon. Okay. So
We'll
we'll
see.
be going from noon to about 3 o'clock. We'll be coming live. Everybody tune in. If you're a local person and if your parents can't see you compete, just go on YouTube and they can watch you compete for the first time.
Yep.
And then if you miss it, if you want to see yourself afterwards, just look at the replay. The replay is usually up about an hour after we do it, and then you can watch yourself compete, which is pretty awesome. So I guess we didn't get Dustin, huh?
No, I couldn't get a hold of him. I think his phone's
Anyway,
off.
we do know the winners. We do know the winner of the brown belt, which was
Nick Schrock,
Yeah, it was Schrock.
the man that ripped the gi in half.
BJ finals. But I would love to see the video. I'd like to see what happened.
I was hoping we could ask Dustin to post the video. I know he has to have it somewhere. Somebody's got it. If you have it and you're sitting on it, share it.
Share it with us, Dustin.
Sharing is caring.
Not just Dustin. Anybody that was there. If you have it, post the video so everyone else can see it because we're very interested.
Yeah,
I saw a couple videos. I saw Noah DeVore. I saw BJ Nelson's first match. I saw a guy finish a match with a wrist lock from side control, which was pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't see those matches.
Yeah, the AGC page actually posted those ones. So it was somebody and Keith Herbert. It was a first round match that finished with a wrist lock.
I'll have to post some of those. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You want to give Dustin another try before we give up on him?
Yeah, let's give Dustin one more try. Did we tell him what time we were calling, or we just called it on our own?
I'm not sure.
Hello, you reached Dustin Ware.
Yeah.
He's definitely not. It's all right.
We got next
We'll
week.
get him next time. We'll get him next time. Well, we will not be on the air next Thursday because we will be eating turkey.
I might be on the air streaming stuff. I don't know.
Actually, okay.
It won't be
If you
jiu-jitsu,
might be on
but
I will be. My belly will be sticking out. I'll be eating turkey.
Mike will be hibernating.
Definitely be.
Cody will probably be hibernating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
That's right, and we hope that you are too. Enjoy the holidays.
enjoy the holiday.
Have a safe one. Are we or anything else we're gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about how the people that are targeting us got canned this week.
You do not mess with the BJJ hour because bad things happen to you. You have
Yeah.
not seen what's happened lately.
Kevin Casey had a blood clot. Braulio
Yep.
Steema is banned for 2 years.
These are people that have messed with our BJJ hour personally. If you mess with us, that's what happened. Hey, but that really does suck with Braulio. If that's what really, if he got really suspended because of something that's found in a sports drink, now is that true or is that just what he's saying? I don't know. But
I heard that the IBJJF offered to test the product if he would name the product to see if it matched, and then he changed his story. So I don't know.
I know like my pre-workouts would be banned in some sports divisions and stuff, but
the stuff that's in like Jack 3D or whatever, Jacked.
yeah, that's exactly what I take.
It's banned by the the NCAA.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's like if you're a college athlete, you will fail their drug test if you take that.
What the hell's in Jack?
Well, I mean
It's called Jack, so
Yeah.
the original formula had a lot of amphetamines in it. It still got a few in there, but
Meth. It's a big jug of meth.
let's just say the original formula was really good. I had some of that stuff.
Really?
It worked. It still works now, but it really works back then. But yeah, a lot of the stuff like pre-workouts and things like that, a lot of them will have substances that end up getting you'll test hot for on the drug test. So
oh shit.
and some of it tastes like Gatorade, so if you couldn't even tell if it was like really what it was sometimes.
But it still sucks that they're going to suspend athletes that are not really getting paid. Which
Yeah.
is really, it's kind of
his suspension is he can't pay to compete anymore. Like
I know.
It's kind of funny.
I'm pretty sure Brawley wasn't paying to compete. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Probably nice
Plus, he
sponsors
also-
and everything.
He has Storm Kimono. He has a bunch of different. And I heard Storm is not dropping him because of this.
Well, that's
which
good.
either means they're not paying him a lot of money, and that's why they're not dropping him.
Yeah.
Probably just giving them geese.
Yeah. So
He can still do ADCC.
I'm still wondering how much do D Company pay these top athletes? I was wondering. It can't be. It's no Nike figure. I can tell you that. There's no way it's like I wonder. They're like, here now you get an extra two more geese free.
There's only like 5 athletes in like martial arts that I know that are sponsored by Nike, and they're all champions or world champions. So
yeah.
That was like John Jones, Anderson Silva, maybe Dos Santos, a couple other people, but like they're not making Nike money at all.
Yeah. I did hear that. I did hear Metamours was in ESPN, the last article, so they might get some more viewers now.
Oh, ESPN 2 or something, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which number it was. It could be the Ocho one.
Yeah,
Ocho.
the Ocho. It was mentioned. We'll just say that.
Dodgeball. But I did hear it was on one of the ESPN, so it is getting kind of big. So that's cool.
All right, so that's what we got for this week.
That's it.
That's it. I will see you guys Saturday. We'll be podcasting the Mr. Submission 4, which is going to be awesome. There's a lot of good guys coming up. There's always exciting matches. And do they have a DJ this year?
I don't know.
Because that's really going to screw with the sound. But that's okay. We'll have our headphones on. So definitely. See you guys Saturday. And we shall continue.
Yep, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We'll see you Saturday and then in 2 weeks. Everybody have a good night. Have a good week. Have a good holiday. Be safe.